what I did as an artist is I got to tell my story in my life. And I've been playing music my whole life. I had an iPod Nano, and I would play every genre of music on it. Anything. So much music. Anyways, I got to pick up a guitar at the age of 19, and I kept on going with it. And I really liked my voice into a microphone, and I had my own home studio for a while. And I would just mix it myself. And as I lived in my life, I always found that I drifted away from, too much of, the drinking, the partying, big crowds. Wow. I found out the whole world saw through my head, and I had some scary times, scary interactions with people. And over there in Minneapolis, when I was over there, a bigger city, I've been Catholic in my life. Used to go to church twice a week. Mass twice a week, growing up. And then once a week in high school. And I experienced so much difficulty around my mother that I had to be on my own. It's a quite common thing you could see from a Catholic in their life, where they grow up on it and they've just got to be on their own for a little bit because maybe there weren't enough good memories. But those people, they still get to have God because the priest, it's not their mother. And that's the important thing. And our God is a loving God, Anyways, I thought that the Holy Spirit was actually coming into my life. And I caught that moment for myself, and I just looked out the window, sunlight through my window. I was playing my guitar. Something like Hard to Make a Change. That song, Hard to Make a Change. 2018. Huh. 18? Yeah. Then maybe right at the start of 2020 or so, or the end of 2019, in Bloomington, uptown in Bloomington. And I wasn't going to come out to anybody and tell them that I thought that the Holy Spirit was working in my life. But I thought I'd make it a little bit of a riddle for you. In my guitar music. And the world's always so filled with chaos and everything like that. You know, I thought I'd need to spend a little bit of time alone. And it never stopped me from wanting to, date, socialize, anything like that. And it made this song inside of my bones. About not really knowing what I'm in, but believing in God for me and you. By putting it into this song. And it's on my first one, Mystery Doors. And I didn't even come out before I put this little riddle in my rock music for you. And then I had all these divine interventions when I got witched real hard in my head. I found out I got witched my whole life. And then the Holy Spirit came into my life with a chip on my head. And that's what I know the story is. I have a guardian angel, and it's Angel Gabriel. In real life. I had all these things. The archangels and the Holy Trinity, Saint Jude Thaddeus. I know all that. And I know the story as well. About God really loving me and protecting me and looking out for me. And how loved I do feel. And how loved you should feel because of that. Because it's a real tragedy being witched through a mind reading device your whole life and not actually knowing about that and going through all of that, those setbacks at the biggest parts of your life, I was crying my eyes out every night at Celery Hall in my freshman dorm, and I left this school, actually, for sure, because of all that. And other stuff later, but definitely because of that, no matter what. And it's a strange thing knowing that you lived in a life, but you get to put an asterisk next to your shortcomings, everything that you didn't get to do. Like, I don't know, being able to work as an artist as your job instead of, having all this tragedy happen in your life already, where it has to be that perfect, actually, beyond what you've ever even seen. is already part of my personality, you know, some sort of perfectionist to myself. And anyways, I never came out with anything like exclaiming, you know, I have the Holy Spirit or it's in my life, but I put it in a little riddle for you, and it's inside of my bones on Mystery Doors.